What is up, everybody? Hopefully you're having a great day. Wow, what a crazy year this has been. The ups, the downs, the sideways. I'll tell you what, we are having one of the best years we've had, which is absolutely crazy because the market has been so bipolar, good, bad. You know, we have some of the highest inventory we've had in 10 years with the lowest amount of sales, but we're still kicking butt because we are your relocation, your number one relocation team here in the Pensacola area and along the Panhandle. But hey, you don't care about that. You want to see what's going on with this video because we got a good one for you today, guys, and you have to stick around because we're going to dive deep into two communities, kind of two neighborhoods, two areas that are highly desirable that I get a lot of calls on. We're going to dive deep in what it's like to live in East Pensacola Heights or Cordova Park. So make sure you stick around. We got a good one. We're also going to dive deep into or show you a little bit of real estate and what prices are like. So stick around, hang on, here we go. This is a broad view of Pensacola, and East Pensacola Heights is really this most southern east part of Pensacola. But so East Pensacola Heights, it runs along, let me show you this here. So this is Cervantes, and then this is Scenic Highway. Scenic Highway goes all the way up, brings you into Pace. And this is Hyde Park, that's right here. And this is Bayou Boulevard. Now, Bayou Boulevard right here starts, and it's called Perry. So you guys might have heard me talk about this in the past. Some of the streets here can have like 3 or 4 names. It's crazy. But it starts out at Perry, then becomes Bayou Boulevard. So those are the roads that kind of, that kind of surround East Pensacola Heights. On the west side of East Pensacola Heights, you got Bayou Tahar, which is, you have some of the most beautiful homes along Bayou Tahar. This side is East Hill, and you got East Pensacola Heights. Now, really eclectic area. You got older homes, you got newer homes, you got some small cottages, you got some bigger lots, you got apartments, you got groceries, you got restaurants, bars, a lot of great stuff. Okay, so East Pensacola Heights. One of the great things about East Pensacola Heights, there's some great schools in the area. So first of all, if you want to do private schools, you have St. Paul's, which, like I said, runs right along Hyde Park here, which is kind of the top of East Pensacola Heights. And then it's not highlighted, but right here is CLA, which is Creative Learning Academy, one of the most expensive schools in the area, but a great school. Exchange Park. This is really cool. You know, when I first moved here, I was playing men's softball, and this was fun. That's always packed. Lot of softball goes on there. You know, adult softball. Probably some other, you know, younger kids softball and baseball goes on there, but it's definitely known for their adult softball. So, but as you can see here, you're running right along Bayou. So you got houses that can be larger with boat docks and boat lifts, or some smaller ones that just might be along the water, but might not have your boat lifts and things like that. Okay. Now, if you want to, the easy thing about East Pensacola Heights is if you want to get to the beach, you're right here. You're jumping right, coming down 3 Mile Bridge through here down to the beach. So a pretty straight shot. Only probably take you 15 minutes to get to the beach. Maybe not even that long from your house. So we talked about St. Paul's and CLA, and then you have a great public school, AK Suter. This is where Brody went for first, second, and third grade. He actually went to St. Paul's for kindergarten. That's where Gannon went to school, my older son. But AK Suter is a great public school. You know, so it's down here on the bottom over by Cervantes Road, which, like I said, will then turn into Scenic Highway. So let's look at the top here. And I'm gonna put my little guy here. This is kind of cool. One thing I love about Scenic Highway is when you're driving along it, you're driving right along the water, which is so pretty. You know, and when you're driving at night, you can see the lights from across the bay, Milton, Pensacola Beach. It's just a really, really pretty drive along Scenic Highway. So, but on the east side of East Pensacola Heights, you have some apartment complexes, but then you have some really nice little condos, Spyglass. You also got Wind Chase condos, Sugar Tree. These are all just nice little condos that you can probably get under, you know, a couple $100,000. Then you got a big condo, Scenic Terrace condo, one of the really tall buildings here along the east side of Pensacola. You got these couple more apartment complexes, and then it's nice because you got a CVS, you got Apple Market. Apple Market is a little local store that has great food, just really convenient, great little neighborhood supermarket. And it's really nice. They just built this Ace Hardware because I'll tell you, especially living in East Hill, if we ever were trying to do, you know, any kind of work at home, or if I had to do some, you know, do some work at Kriya's spa, I had to go all the way to Home Depot, which is way over here, over off the 10 and Bayou, so far. So now it's nice having the Ace Hardware right here because we don't have to drive so far. So it's really, really great, really convenient for anybody that lives in the area, business owners, things like that. Now let's look at all the different things that we have in East Pensacola Heights. So you're coming down, you got some more apartments, you got some more condos, Bay Winds, Ascend, this is apartment complexes, but you have Nancy's Catering, you have Agape. Agape is an awesome little Greek restaurant, kind of quaint. We had our Christmas party there a couple years ago. You got Scenic 90 Cafe, iconic little restaurant, one of the best corned beef hash places. I love getting it. They just comes in a little like side dish, super, super good. And then you got Calvert's in the Heights. Calvert's is a kind of English style pub, you know, bangers and mash, shepherd's pie, that kind of stuff. Now, if you keep coming along here, you got Aunt Katie's breakfast. This place is packed all the time. So if you are going to go eat there, make sure you get there early. I don't even know if they do reservations. We've never eaten there because it's always so packed. And I mean, they're like big portions, big food. And then you got this Peruvian food place, Don Cha. I think that's how you pronounce it. We haven't eaten there. My buddy said you got to try it out. It's fantastic. We just haven't. And then you got Fannie Lou's awesome little ice cream spot here. It's super, super awesome. And then you got Domino's Pizzas over here. You got New Yorker Deli, bomb. Great sandwiches, pizzas, salads. You got Running Wild. You got Giorgio's right here as well. Good pizza joint. Let's see what else we got here. Weatherford's like if any kind of outdoor stuff. You know, if you need any ski stuff, snow stuff, you can get that there. And then Jerry's Drive-In. Jerry's Drive-In is one of the most iconic little spots here in Pensacola. Super old diner. You know, the little burger comes out on just one of those little diner plates. Things are kind of a la carte. Great fried mullet. Super, super cool spot. But the nice thing is if you want to, you know, have a $500,000 house, they're in East Pensacola Heights. You want a $300,000 house, we could find it. You want a $2 million house along the water, we could find it. Right? We just sold this one here. Just closed on this baby, 825 Bay Boulevard. Really, really cool spot overlooking the water. Probably one of the best views. It was awesome. But let's see here. Let's see what real estate is like right now. So right now in East Pensacola Heights, there is 4 houses for sale. As you can see, anywhere from 275 to 410. So let's see what this Watson Ave is like. Cute little 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,700 square foot home. Nice hardwood floors. Decent little spot. Built in 1957. Another cute little house here for 410. And over the past year, there has been 11 houses that have sold in East Pensacola Heights from 150,000 to 2.5 million. They've been building some pretty houses there along the water over there off the bayou, which is pretty awesome. Pretty. So that is East Pensacola Heights for you. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Now let's look at Cordova Park. So Cordova Park, one of my favorite areas. And one thing I love about Cordova Park is the really large lots. Cordova Park's been around for years and years and years. And you're going to see larger lots. You're going to see 80-foot lots, maybe 100-foot lots wide, big lots, older, ranch style homes, but they've also been doing some new construction as well in this area. So a lot of those homes that might have been dilapidated got torn down, and now they're being rebuilt. Okay. Now, the only thing about Cordova Park, you are closer to the airport. Okay. So here's your airport right here. Let's see. Here's the airport. So a little bit closer to the airport than East Pensacola Heights. And we are building another terminal. So if you're not one of those people that likes, the sound of airplanes, maybe this might not be the area for you. But I love the location, right? Centrally located. You are right here. Let me show that again. So you have the mall, or you have the airport here, you have the mall, and Cordova, if you want to get down anywhere, you take Bayou down there, or you could take 12th Avenue down. You can hit over here to the 110 and be on the freeway, or north or south. If you want to head over to, you could take Summit here and hit Scenic Highway and go north if you're going to do that. Or you could jump on 9th Avenue and go that way. So let's look at Cordova Park. So Cordova Park on the north side here, you're really close to Summit Boulevard. Lots of restaurants and things like that around, not necessarily in Cordova Park, unlike East Pensacola Heights. But if you get up here to the mall, and then you got, Culver's, but then you got Target. You have, if you come up here a little bit more, you got Publix, but there's a lot of different, restaurants and bars right here by the mall. So tons of things right next to you. A lot of area to walk. If you want a kid-friendly neighborhood, kid-friendly area, Cordova Park is one of them. Like I said, lots of people walking, lots of families. But then if you don't like families, might not be the area for you. Now you are in Cordova Park Elementary School. Cordova Park is one of the best elementary schools that we have in the area. Just like AK Suter, highly ranked public school. But then if you did want to send your kid to, one of the private schools that are over here, you can. And we talked about, the funds that you can get for private school nowadays. DeSantis waived that income level, and your kids can go to private school for pretty much free if they accept the voucher. So, but if you see here, one thing I love about Cordova Park is the amount of parks that they have. You got Dunwoody here, up here. Let's see, Seymour. You got, so Cowboy Park, Dunwoody Park here, Cowboy Park. Nice big park. Firestone is one of your main roads, kind of brings you from Bayou Boulevard up to Summit Boulevard. Got the fire station here. A lot of good walking. And then also, if your kids play any sports, you have the Roger Scott Tennis Center right here on the north side of Cordova Park. And you have the Roger Scott Pool, Roger Scott Athletic Complex. And then you have Vickery Center, which is kind of right here. So that's the big community center. But if any kind of, if you want to play baseball or football, this is Bill Bond baseball fields. And then this is the NEP football field. Now, NEP, their baseball fields are up off 9 Mile, but NEP's football field is here. And then they just built, they got all this, medical facility here, which is awesome. You also got that's a Baptist urgent care here or actually that's Baptist urgent care is on the other side of the airport right here. So close to a couple medical spots. And then also you're pretty close to the, Ascension Sacred Heart or Baptist over there off of the freeway. So let's drop down in here and let's look at some stuff. As you can see, just kind of drop down here on McClellan and somewhere, but as you can see, big lots. Look how big that lot is. Really, really pretty. Ranch style homes. You kind of got these tri-level split floor plan, kind of hillsy area. Really, really pretty. I love all the trees. We were talking about this the other day. I have a buddy that's looking to build and he was wanting to tear down these trees. I'm like, bro, why, man? They're so beautiful. And you just can't find trees like this all over. And I think it's just super neat. Phoenix really didn't have trees like you do nowadays, trees not like here. This is our new listing. We just redid that's an old picture there, but we're going to show it to you. So Cordova Park in this past year has had 32 sales, and those sales have ranged from 200 to 950,000. That 950,000 was new construction, built 2,500 square feet. But as you can see, you can find some houses under 400,000, 500,000, and live in a great community. Let's look at what's currently for sale. Right now, there's 15 houses for sale here, anywhere from 325 to 700. This is our new one, 3640 Mall Road. Looks a lot different than the old Google view. Really, really pretty. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square feet. I want to show you guys the pool and stuff real quick. Look at this outside. Huge master closet. And look how big that closet is. Well, I want to show you the outside real quick. Really pretty. Huge deck, huge pool, really custom fence. I love it. But that's priced at $499. So listen, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Hopefully just get you a little bit more insight of what it's like to live in those two communities, great communities. And if there's ever anything that you ever want or need, if you have any questions, or if you want to get a little bit more deeper dive into those communities or any communities, we're here to help you out. And my name's Tim Eklund, First Class Real Estate, Gulf Coast. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, do all that stuff. We're off to the next one. See you soon.